are you?
Yeah, doing great, thank you.
Nice.
Really good.
It's really nice day today, isn't it?
Stunning. Absolutely
Perfect
stunning.
weather. Really nice English weather, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Sure.
So, how's things? Congratulations for the newborn.
Thank you. Yeah, things are good. It's yeah, obviously been a bit busy period, but yeah, things are going really well. How are things with you, my friend?
Yeah, really good, really good. Um, so could you like, if I've got this right, so your background is social media, isn't it, and
Correct.
marketing? Could you just like go through your background?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I do kind of specialize in social media marketing and kind of brand activations for food and beverage brands, predominantly brands that are selling in the major supermarkets, and also do a bit of work when it comes to content and kind of recipe development for some of the sort of major fast food brands as well.
And if I'm right, it's been going for 5 years.
Yeah,
Thing
around that. Yeah, yeah. Although the COVID kind of feels like a bit of a blur.
Did you find a lot of like clients stop doing marketing in that time?
To be honest with you, I would say it was the opposite. A lot of clients kind of doubled down and were pretty busy during COVID because, you know, people weren't eating out, and you know, a lot of the brands we were working with were supermarket kind of brands. Actually, it was pretty busy.
So, what do you look for certain brands in particular, or
Not not in particular. I mean, we work with like a very small number of brands at a time because we work really closely with them. So really, it's just about like we work with brands who are prepared to be brave, basically, and some of them are smaller brands, you know, smaller challengers. Some are larger but want to kind of do do things with a kind of challenger mindset. And so, yeah, you know, we work with brands that we feel like we're aligned with and that are prepared to listen to our crazy ideas about what we'd like to do.
Can you you said brave. What class is brave in your eyes?
Brands that are prepared to do things that are maybe firsts or maybe risky, and maybe controversial, but prepared to do what it takes to kind of cut through the noise that there is online and the kind of huge amounts of vanilla social media and marketing that's going on in the space.
Cool. Do you want to crack open the bottle and give it a try?
Yeah, I do.
Go for it.
I just had it in the fridge, so I'm very excited.
I'm excited to see what you think.
Kind of heeding your warning there.
Yeah, be careful, it might be lively.
No, it's all right.
It's not too bad.
Oh, wow, it smells amazing. All right. Wow. That's super refreshing, isn't it?
Perfect. That's a good start.
Yeah, it kind of, to me, what I'm getting is it's giving me memories of like very pleasant memories of having like shandy, and also like it almost, to me, it tastes very floral. So it's like, you know, if you'd have told me that this has got elderflower in it, I would have said, yeah, it's got elderflower in it.
I think it's weird. Every time I do a tasting like this, elderflower comes up, and although it's not a part of the ingredients. It's quite interesting that.
Yeah.
So, I do a thing called a drink advisor when I do a tasting session. So it's similar, like, because I'm from the hospitality trade, everyone watches what TripAdvisor, there was scoring and comments from people. So if we do like a little game here where we call it Drink Advisor, what would be
Yeah.
your rating out of 5 for the drink?
5. It's great. It's genuinely amazing.
And what would be your headline comment in your review?
It would be, I'd say something like, refreshing, light, and floral.
Cool. And is it because obviously I approached you with this drink? Is it different to how you perceived it was going to be?
Yeah, it is. It's, I think, because it's kind of fermented. I thought there'd be maybe a bit more of a funk to it.
Yeah.
And then also, so I'm not actually a big beer drinker. I'm not really into beer at all. And so, the other thing I was thinking was, well, maybe it will be very beery.
Bitter.
Yeah, bitter. Yeah, because I'm much more into sweet flavors, and I think that's why I don't particularly go for beers. Like, I drink cocktails and spiced rum and stuff like that when I drink. So yeah, it's different, but it's like so pleasant. I mean, it's crazy the timing of this, because this is just such a beautiful drink for a hot summer's day. Refreshing. You can taste the fermentation and the fact that it's mildly alcoholic, but as I say, it's much lighter and more kind of drinkable, like a shandy would be. And I think that because you've got that sweetness coming through as well, that almost like floral, elderflowery kind of vibe. It's
cool. On things, so you run an NFT project, don't you? Called the Food Society. Do you see companies going forward having to have an NFT? Because I've been following this track for a couple of years, obviously hearing it from the legend Gary V, obviously. And it's something in my mind that we have to have in place from the start going forward now. Do you see more brands using an NFT platform for their products?
Definitely, I do. I believe it is the future, but how quickly that will come about, I don't know. Where we are right now, I would say that we are, with crypto, we're in a bear market, right? The prices dropped significantly from the most recent high, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, but the end of last year, probably. And I don't expect to see it recover for a couple of years, because that's how these market cycles tend to go. So that's going to have an impact on the crypto market in general, and on the NFT space. And I think that what we're going to see over the next couple of years is a lot of people who were sort of dabbling with NFTs lose interest because they were in it for the money, or just because times are really hard and their sort of forecasts for how things would go are not realistic. But in that time, we'll see some really committed people build some really cool NFT projects, or some brands introduce NFTs that are really like useful and actually bring benefits to the consumers. And they'll be the ones who kind of do really well then when things pick up in the crypto space and there's more of a wider sort of public interest. And I'm basing this on how I saw the kind of ICO stuff go back in sort of 2016, and the sort of crypto bear market that we saw then. So yeah, that's
So
how I see.
do you think like brands could use it as like a platform like for discount codes and stuff like that? Say for like Black Friday. So if you own an NFT, you get, if you own a certain NFT from that company, you can have 50% off or 35% off, which is better than what is on offer if you don't own one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think we're only just starting to really appreciate what the potential is in terms of what could be done with the technology. And I don't, you know, it's still very early days, and I think we're not even going to realize the true potential of it for quite some time as people continue to innovate. But yeah, you know, there's so many opportunities for brands when it comes to like, you know, raising funds, raising money, pre-selling stuff, you know, giving NFTs as receipts, as proof of purchasing, you know, certain items, and you know, NFTs on their own, subscription memberships, etc., that can all be sold direct via NFTs. Then people have got a way to prove that they own that NFT because it's on the blockchain, but also there's then historical data. So it means that, you know, in 10 years time, when you know, Brethren, let's say, sells to you know, a massive you know, multinational corporation, and you get an amazing exit on Brethren. I don't know if that's your plan, but like, let's say it was, you know, you could then go through the sort of NFT records and see, well, I'm gonna give 100 grand to everyone who bought, you know, the first 100 people who bought Brethren, right? You know, and there's things like that that you can do, and I think we're only just realizing like the potential of that. So yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how people creatively use this kind of technology for you know, building their brand, but also getting closer to their consumers and like incentivizing consumers to be loyal.
Cool. The other thing I've saw you've done over the last few years was the TikTok house, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Of the TikTok food, was it food house? So
That's right.
how did that come about, and was it useful? And
Yeah, so I had this crazy idea for creating the world's first TikTok house that was centered around food, and went to one of our brave clients with it and said, hey, this is an idea, are you up for doing it? And it actually turned out,
was that Squeaky Bean?
Squeaky Bean, yeah. So yeah, I think there were a few world firsts in the end. It was the world's first food TikTok house, world's first vegan TikTok house, and the world's first brand-led TikTok house. And yeah, it was an incredible project, and you know, I'm so grateful to Squeaky Bean for being crazy enough to go with my crazy idea. But you know, it was hugely successful in terms of, you know, when we were looking at the content that it created by us, you know, creating this incredible experience for the creators and this incredible environment for them to make the best content of their lives, you know. And we then looked at some of that content, running it as paid ads, and how it compared cost-wise to your more sort of traditional advertising, and it was just crazy how successful it was. So yeah, you know, this is the sort of project that me and my team love doing, because we get to be like truly creative, you know, truly do stuff that's kind of world first, and you know, hopefully get the kind of results that we saw with Squeaky House.
Do you think more brands will go down that route, because everyone's been pushing the TikTok and LinkedIn platforms over the last 6 months? Is that where do you think brands will have to be very creative on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that basically brands, as Gary Vee would say, you need to be where people's eyeballs are. And so, brands have constantly got to be on the ball as to where people are spending their time and what apps people are giving their attention to. And then as marketers, we've got to figure out how to be part of that conversation in an authentic, exciting way. And sometimes that means really rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty, because as consumers we can tell a mile off when a brand is being insincere, or they are using a platform just to broadcast rather than actually have a conversation. So I think that platform is really important, but also just understanding what is current. The TikTok house, in that moment, TikTok houses were like a really big thing, and so it was the right project at the right time. In a year's time, that will probably be something different. So it's about following culture and understanding what's culturally relevant right now, and how to be part of that conversation and to be a pioneer in that space and in that conversation.
Cool. I've been learning a lot recently on ATL campaigns, above the line campaigns. Have you got any of favourites yourself that you've seen?
Not particularly. I just think that, like, with that sort of advertising, it's got to be integrated with everything else. Otherwise, I think you can waste a lot of money, because ATL to me is, to me, being someone who's like really into digital, it can be so expensive. And so I'm very wary about some of this stuff, because I want to either make sure that it supports something that's more cost efficient, or does something that is going to cause people to share that particular campaign digitally to get more out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right, so I've got 3 things I do add in this as well. So if you were going out for brunch, what would be your chosen meal and drink?
It would probably be, if I was going out for brunch, it would, like, I love a good English fry up, to be honest with you. So it would be like full English, but we'd have to have black pudding,
Controversial.
lots of white buttered toast. And I mean, drinks wise, like, I've always got to have a milky coffee. So, like a flat white or something like that would have to be my drink. But I would double park. I'd have a flat white and an orange juice or something like that.
And I'm exactly the same. I have to have a cold and hot drink together. Are you one of those who likes like the fancy latte foam art on top?
Yeah, I've been practicing my latte art as well. I've got like I've got an espresso at home with a steam one, so I've been like really practicing. Yeah, I love a bit of latte art. It's got to be like, if it's not Instagrammable, then what's the point?
So right, we redefine the term IPA. Instead of it being Indian Pale Ale, we use it as an ideal plausible alternative.
Nice.
If you had to redefine anything, what would you redefine?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to struggle with this one. Like, to be honest with you, and I don't know if this is exactly the answer you're looking for, but what I'm really
go for it. I'm not looking for anything. I just want to hear.
What I'm really passionate about is helping people to learn how to freestyle cook. And so a lot of the content that I create for like consumers on my Instagram and stuff like that is around inspiring people and helping people to sort of learn the building blocks to cooking so they don't need to rely on recipes and the specificness of recipes. So, you know, I would really, you know, love to sort of like redefine home cooking as, you know, something that is, you know, less about recipes and sticking to plans and more about working with what's available, what's in the fridge, what's in season, what's in the shop that you bought and you're excited by. So yeah, I think like for me, that's what I would love to see. I don't know if that's the best answer, but
no, any answer is good. And what do you think our biggest USP is?
Your biggest USP?
Yeah.
I think in this day and age where people are thankfully becoming so aware about waste and food waste and that's the impact of that. I think that is your biggest USP probably. Now, is it your biggest USP to me? Maybe not. Not because I don't care about waste, but because to me, actually, the flavor of this is why I would buy it. But you know, that would be the number one reason I would buy it. But I think, yeah, more generally, it's got to be the sort of like eco credentials and the story behind the fact that you're taking something which is going to go to waste and making something beautiful with it, and that's really important to people.
Cool. And I think we'll leave it there. Cheers, James.
Cool. Thanks.